Hi, this is Mr. Cappert. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a table and graph in Google Sheets. The first step may be to install Google Sheets. You should be able to go through Google Drive though. If that doesn't work, when you hit Google Drive or if you don't have Google Sheets, go to Catalog on your iPad and download it. If you can't get it to download, then you can go to IT. So I've already built my table and graph here. I'll show you how I created a new sheet. So you'll see a big giant plus in the bottom right corner. And then you'll hit new spreadsheet, hit that pencil tool. And then you'll give it a name that makes sense so you can find this later. For instance, the assignment I'm working on is called 1.15 puzzle. So that was a good name. I hit cancel because I'm not going to start at the very start. This video will be too long. So what you first need to do is enter all of your data into a table. So I would put it in this exact order where you have participant in column 1, height in the second column, and then in your third column, the time to solve. You want to have those headers on there. And normally I bold those, but that's no big deal. Put the units on there. That's always important. So for height, notice I put FT for feet. You put parentheses around it. That's standard procedure. And then for time, minutes. Some of you guys may have done seconds. You just don't want mixed units. So if you have minutes, seconds, you need to convert that to purely minutes or purely seconds. Height, if you have feet and inches, you need to decide, are you converting this strictly to inches or strictly to feet? You can't have any text in any of those boxes, like 5.1, that has to be a pure number there. So to enter data, you just double click on the cell and see how down like the bottom third here, it opens up a line where you can type in whatever you want. So for instance, 23, and it types it in. So once you have all this data in, what you need to do is then graph this. So you're going to click on the upper left number that you want to graph. So we want to graph height versus time to solve. Now the reason why I put height in column 2 and the time to solve in column 3 is because when you do it this way, Google Sheets just assumes that you want the height along the x-axis and time along the y-axis, which is true. So you always want to put your x value next to your y value if you want to make this quicker. So height I wanted x, so that's why I put it to the left of time, which I wanted on the y. So select the cell, grab the right corner, which I always mess up. Grab and then try to drag, there we go. Drag and highlight all of your numbers. Don't get any text in there. That'll mess this up. You got to have just purely numbers that you give to Google here for the graph. There's a plus sign in the upper right. Click on chart, and it always assumes column. I don't know why. Kind of goofy. Who uses a column? So you'll notice there's a type, and then it says column chart. Click on column chart. And then we want to scroll down and choose scatter, the lower left scatter, the one with the smaller dots, that one there. And then you have to then go back. So I would hit the arrow next to type in the center of the screen there, center left. And then legend, that's fine, titles. So you want to then do your chart title, which you always do y versus x. That's the standard, at least. So on my y, that was my dependent variable, which was time to solve. So this needs to be descriptive of the data that you are graphing. So time to solve versus what is on my x-axis, which is, what did I do again? Oh, height. So y versus x is the standard for the name. update title, choose that. And then horizontal, so that is your X along the bottom, which ended up being height. And then make sure you always got to put units. So you do that by putting parentheses and then putting your units. I converted to feet. If you converted to inches, then you want to do that in there. So then update title. And then the vertical, which is your Y, which I made that time to solve. So I wouldn't just put time, I'd put time to solve to make it real clear to the person reading this what this is a graph of. And then once again, I did minutes on mine. Now you may just have seconds. That might be easier if you had nobody in your group go over 60 seconds. So update, up to you. You can always use Google too to convert if you don't know how to convert. Update title, and then hit the check mark in the upper left that you have completed this. And height versus, yep, that looks good. Notice on my example one above, I did the title wrong. So do it the way I did in the video. All right, let me know if you have any additional questions at all.